Hey everybody, Aaron from the Ballpit here, back with another episode of Writer's Block, which is essentially just a series that allows me to talk about any creative pursuits that stimulate me at a given moment. And today I wanted to talk a little bit about the market behind video games and how it seems as though laziness sells. And the specific example I'm going to use to keep this video short, which is why it's coming out on a Monday instead of a Friday, because didn't really have time to record, etc. It doesn't really matter, is Pokemon with the Pokemon mainline games. If you're a fan of Pokemon, or a hater of Pokemon in the same vein, you understand that Pokemon is I think either one of, if not the, most profitable or highest selling, franchises ever. And the games are super popular, get hundreds of millions of buys every 3 years when one of them drops. And a problem that kind of becomes established is that the company itself, this is not talking about the developers, the people who are putting in the hard work for each game. It's about the company themselves just being lazy with the way Pokemon is being made. Pokemon has seen very little evolution throughout its game development time, with the only really evolution we've seen in the mainline games coming most recently in Scarlet and Violet, where it went to a more open world concept rather than a more linear concept like are in other Pokemon games. But and the fact that it took 25, 26, whatever years to have that development is shocking. But at the same time, that development, the good of the natural progression of Pokemon games, comes with the bad parts of it, which is the game barely works. There's so many bugs, and it's just so, you can tell that the development team did not have enough time to properly smooth out the game and add all the stuff they wanted to add. So it comes off as just an unpolished product. Obviously, it's a full game. The story of it, it ends. You get to the end, but there's just certain things that just lets you know that the team was rushed into it and didn't have time to polish it. And I feel like even if they were given even another year or whatever, the games would come out so much different. But the fact of the matter is that the market is driving this laziness to where it is now profitable to not put as much time and effort into your games, because you're still going to get 100 to 200 million copies sold of your game no matter what. So might as well put it out in 3 years instead of waiting for the time for it to be properly smoothed out, polished, and finished. Because then you can get the money from the game and start working on the next one to make more money, and the next one to make more money, and the in-between games to make more money, the DLCs now that get them even more money. It's all about, all that Nintendo and Game Freak care about is making as much money as possible off of the Pokemon franchise. That's why the games come out every 3 years. No matter if they should or need more time to be polished, they're going to come out every 3 years. It's why Pokemon's one of the biggest merchandise sellers of any franchise. It's why the in-between games, like the games, and that's the games in between the mainline releases come out. And it's why we now have DLC. That's why. Because they want to make money. And it's just unfortunate where the market is set up in a certain way so that making better art, better creations, creating higher quality products is inherently negative to making money, which means that it's not going to happen. It sucks that we're in a period where it is profitable to make lower quality art because you can make more of it. It's a quantity over quality market right now. You put as much stuff out there with the Pokemon name behind it into the world and just rake in the money off of a dedicated fan base. And the problem is that no matter how much anybody criticizes the Pokemon Company, Game Freak, Nintendo, or complains about it, the end of the day, we all still buy it. I literally have Pokemon Scarlet in my game case over there for my Switch. Like I can sit here and talk about how bad this is all the time, but we still buy the games because they're still fun, right? It's just like the whole time I'm playing the game, there's just this like kind of haunting feeling in the back of my head that's like, man, this is like this game, especially like Scarlet and Violet, like this game is just resting on the grounds of something that could have been so much better if the people that were in charge of making the game had the time to actually make the game. But instead, we just get this unpolished, unfinished product, while still fun, while still enjoyable. It's just not what it could be. And that sucks. And the biggest problem with all of it is I don't know how to solve it. I don't know how to solve this problem. Because historically, Nintendo and Pokemon, they don't listen to the community that often. You know, like what people in the Pokemon community or that are fans of Pokemon, what they voice outward to the company is not heeded in any way. They don't care. They genuinely couldn't find a way to care. So there's no way for us to solve this other than like a boycott of Pokemon products, which many problems exist within that. Number one of which is that we have understood kind of from what happened with Hogwarts Legacy that online boycotts of games don't work, because even if you have a vocal group of people on a social media platform like YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, etc., is like, yeah, I'm not gonna buy this game, I'm gonna boycott it. Like, that's only 1% of the population of people that are gonna buy that game. There are hundreds of millions of just normal ass people that have no idea about any boycott that are just gonna purchase the game because they like Pokemon, man. Like, there's tons of people who ingest no Pokemon content other than them playing the games. You know, they don't watch any like YouTube or Twitch content related to YouTube. They don't watch the Pokemon Presents when it comes out. They don't care about any of that. They just like fun games. And that's not a problem at all. That's perfectly fine. That's perfectly normal. It makes sense even. It's just, you know, you can't boycott something when 90% of the people that buy it literally don't know it's a boycott. And there's no way to spread it out there to all the Pokemon fans, because Pokemon fans are such a wide range of people, because it's a game that still appeals to kids and is now probably getting played by kids of people who played the original Pokemon game, like Red and Blue. But the people who were around for Red and Blue and Gold and Silver and Crystal and whatever are still playing the game. So you have this wide age range of people. You have this wide ethnic demographic, because it gets played. I mean, it's huge in Japan. It's still big in the United States. It's big in Europe. You know, so there's just such a wide range of people. Hard to establish like a boycott or something of the sorts. And the second thing is that why that wouldn't work is that they make too much money. You know what I'm saying? And no matter what, like if Pokemon saw a boycott happening because people are mad about their products, they're more likely to just try to switch up the formula of Pokemon a little bit than allow their developers more production time, because more production time costs a lot of money. Because it means that your every 3 years traditional formula can't hit, and now you have more time gap in between you making this massive amount of money off that initial drop of a game. So we just kind of found ourselves between a rock and a hard place. Everybody wants the games because we want Pokemon, we love it, right? People have for 25 something whatever amount of years, but at the same time we want better for it, but we won't get it because that's not how the market is. The only way this can be fixed is if the market starts to change on a large structural front, so that instead of the most popular named things, the most popular branded things gain the most viewership or sales, instead it's the highest quality art and creations that gain the most sales. And I don't see that happening in the current market. As sad and negative as I'm kind of leaving this video off on, that's the reality of the situation. So that's all for me today. If you have any topics or anything you want me to talk about, leave it in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. I got shit to do, so I'm going to head out. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.